Hi, so we did 1.2 for this week. So if you go into content and you scroll down to Unit 1 and do 1.2 success, and you can kind of read through the content. This is like your textbook. And one thing I pointed out to everybody was that moving forward, I want your replies in the discussion to follow this 3 C's in a Q. So you're going to, when you reply to someone else, you're going to compliment them first, then you're going to comment, then you're going to connect, and then you're going to question. Okay, so you can go back to that when you need to. I didn't assign that first discussion. So we talked about what is a successful student. We watched this video about successful students' habits. We reflected a little bit on our own habits. And then we looked at Samira's essay and how she conferenced with her teacher 2 or 3 times before handing in her essay, and each was a small step in the process. And then once she handed in the copy that was approved by her teacher, she ended up with a great mark. So it just highlights the importance of getting feedback from your teacher throughout the process, and not just doing something once and then handing it in and waiting for the mark. So you should always be asking for feedback from your teacher if they're not providing it straight up in the writing process. But I know for a lot of you, when you do larger language arts projects, your teachers are conferencing with you about that anyway. And then we talked about, excuse me, the learning skills that you get on your report cards. And so what the different learning skills are. And so here they are. You can read through those: responsibility, organization, independent work, initiative, collaboration, and self-regulation. We also looked at a First Nations lifelong learning, as well as Inuit lifelong learning, and just how they're very community oriented. So when they do something, they bring in people from the community so that everybody benefits. I didn't assign that discussion. You can read through these little tabs here about learning new skills. Okay, what does your success depend on? And so we looked at kind of a successful example here on the left for Xavier, and then an unsuccessful example here on the right for Annie, and how the different experiences show how to be successful. This is the one that I assigned for homework. So celebrities and success. Think about a celebrity or someone famous. They can be an athlete, humanitarian, environmentalist, saint, politician, activist, actor, singer, writer, world leader, or even someone who made waves in the world of technology. And it could be someone in history or somebody current that is alive today. So you're to do a little bit of research on the person to learn what they have said about being successful. So it might just be a Google search, like the Dalai Lama success or Saint Mother Teresa success, and then it should come up with quotes that that person has said. And so you're going to choose one of the quotes from that person and share it with the rest of the class in a discussion post. So you're going to put the quote in, tell us who the author is, explain why you found the quote to be inspiring, and what specific part of the quote did you want to share? Like, why did you want to share it with your classmates? And then how can you apply the quote to your own life? So the instructions are to post your quote and your response to the questions above in full sentences. And then you are to read 3 or 4 posts from your fellow classmates. And then you can reply to one. When you reply to one, if you could follow the 3 C's in a Q. So you can just hit the link here to join the discussion. And there's the example there. Okay. So that's the first part of your homework. Oops. Let's go out and come back in. And you can tab down to get back to your spot more quickly. Or you can also just go in through the discussion tab at the top, which I'll show you in a minute. Then we looked at some other famous people and what they said about success. So Kamala Harris, Chris Hadfield, Malala, Kevin Lowry, Pope Francis. So you can choose any of those, or you can choose someone else. Okay. And then we looked at things outside of school that you might feel successful at. So riding a bike, learning a new computer program, finding your way around somewhere, playing a sport, making a meal, managing your money, or repairing something even. All right, so then the next part is your homework task. And so what you're going to do is you're going to click on this link here, and you're basically going to fill it out. And that's your homework. Okay, so first part is pretty straightforward. Name 3 people that are often portrayed in the media as successful in their field. And then 3 people in your own life that you consider successful. Fill those people in. Then you're going to do a Venn diagram. So you're going to choose one person from your list above on the left-hand side here. And then choose one person that you know on the right-hand side here. And then you're going to do a Venn diagram. And so the successful person's characteristics on the left here, so the famous person, and then the successful person that you know personally on the right here, and then in the middle is their shared characteristics. So you make a list of the characteristics for the famous person, then you make a list of the characteristics from the person that you know, and then in the middle you find the ones that are the same on both sides, and that's a Venn diagram. There's an example for you, and then you just pull from the Venn diagram and answer these questions. Then you have to select 5 interview questions from the list below, and there's some information about how to run a successful interview. Okay, so there are the questions. So you're going to choose 5, and you're going to record the questions that you've chosen here. Record the answers that they've given you here. What have you learned from the person? What stood out to you the most? What skills can you use from the person that you interviewed? What insights have you gained from conducting an interview with a successful person? And then 2 outcomes from the interview that you can take with you in the future. What can you learn from here? And then there's a little checklist for you to evaluate yourself and how you did. And then a couple reflection questions, number 6 and number 7. And that's it. For those of you working on a Chromebook, you may have to You may have to save it or download it first. So let me know if you have any issues with that. Okay? So that's your homework for the week. And a reminder that on Thursday, okay, let me just show you a couple other things. So when you go to do your homework, you can go straight to the discussion tab. And your discussion will be here, celebrities and success, right? And then you can also go straight to the assignment page, and your assignment form that I just went through can be attached here. Okay. And then on Thursday for your attendance, I just wanted to point out that you're going to come on here and you're going to answer this little question here. So the question's going to be posted on Thursday, and the question just is, who have you decided to interview? Okay, so it will be posted right up here. See where it says plan post? It's going to populate right there, and you're just going to answer that question for your attendance for Thursday. And I'll see you all next Tuesday. Email if you have any questions. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.